Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my co-owner commentary, Ashton, and this is our Lucha Underground review. And we started this season with a bang. Season 4, Episode 1 revolved mostly around, outside of some expositional stuff, Aztec Warfare 4. Holy shit. What a great freaking match that was. I was on the edge of my seat. It felt great to be Johnny Scumbag rooting for all my faves again and seeing the entire Lucha Underground family, with a few exceptions, which we will talk about here in this review. But before I go any further, let's fill it over to my cohort and commentary. Ashton, what did you think about the Season 4 premiere tonight?
Dude, the energy in the new temple is amazing. The storytelling is just as incredible as it's always been. And man, it feels so good to have Lucha Underground back in our lives.
Absolutely, it does, man. It's so fucking good. As I say, I know it's our favorite wrestling promotion when it's in season, and it is in season, and we are back, baby. So I'm feeling fucking good. With that said, do you have any other preliminary remarks that you want to make?
No, sir. Let's go.
All right. We don't do heat of the night here because it's Lucha Underground. So let us get right into our Lucha Underground review. Now, I will say I had some difficulties watching more or less the first half of this show. So, Ashton, you're going to have to carry a good little bit of that. How do we open this baby up, partner?
We open this thing up seeing the dead body of Dario Cueto at what is basically an open viewing, an open casket viewing. It looks like most of the crowd has left, if not all. And then we see Antonio Cueto and Agent Winter walking into the room, and we kind of get a little bit of dialogue. I believe it was revealed that Antonio Cueto was the one that put out the hit for Dario for him to get murdered, basically. And that he's ashamed of Dario and all that shit. And then it was also kind of really expounded upon by Agent Winter that the wrestling promotion is a front. He also says that they can't use the Boyle Heights Temple anymore, and Antonio makes it clear that that's fine because he already has lined up an old ice storage factory that he used to, I believe, own. And man, he just talks about how Dario is always the weak one and Matanza is the true heir.
Yeah, some earth-shattering exposition right out of the gate. I'm really looking forward to the rewatch that I know we do, partner, because I would have loved to have seen this, but already, you can see that Antonio Cueto already making those power plays. And, Winter, of course, I think is fitting into the role perfectly the way that it sounds. So good shit, man. Good shit.
Definitely. And we got some fresh blood during the show tonight that were either, outed by Dario Cueto or left under Dario's regime that we might not have seen if Dario had still been around. So it's going to be an interesting situation to see who's still around and who left. We already know at least one person who absolutely left for sure because it was confirmed in the opening segment in the temple, which, if you want, we can get right into.
Let's get right into it, man.
Well, in the new temple, we start things out with Melissa Santos having an image, like a big portrait of Dario Cueto in the middle of the ring, and they're doing a 10 bell salute for him. But then Antonio Cueto interrupts, and he basically, he says, I'm the new owner, I'm the new proprietor, I'm the new promoter, and this is my temple. And then he says, this is my temple. He uses his cane to swipe away and knock down the tripod, I guess you could call it. I don't know what to call it, but the thing that was holding up the portrait of Dario Cueto.
Right.
And he says, this is my temple now. And he declares that Pentagon Dark is going to have to defend the Lucha Underground Championship tonight in Aztec Warfare. And he also clarifies that Aztec Warfare was his idea, not Dario's idea. Dario stole that idea from him.
Oh, shit. So, yeah, any remnant, any positive association of Cueto with the temple, which there were very few to begin with, given the nature of the character, is just being completely snuffed out by Antonio. So I find that very interesting. And yeah, I mean, again, sounds good, man. I can't wait to really just be able to see it for myself. But yeah, this guy even seems scummier than Dario the way it sounds.
I mean, it's Papa Cueto, man. We know he's a scumbag. He's the power-hungry piece of shit that sacrificed his own son to the gods.
Yeah, that's true, man. Those comics were so good and really give you a lot of great context early on about, what we can expect from these people. And now that it's like live and in living color, Papa Cueto, you really do see that, yeah, he is a fucking asshole to say the very least. Good shit, man.
Absolutely, yeah. So we know that Pentagon is defending the title. He calls out the Mac and Killshot, and we find out that Dante Fox is missing in action. So what he wants to do is he wants the Mac and Killshot, because they are 2/3 of the Trios champions and they don't have a third. They are going to enter Aztec Warfare at number 1 and 2, and whoever makes entrant number 3 will be their new partner as the Trios champions. So we're getting a roster switch during a title reign, which is very rare, but the third entrant ends up being Son of Havoc. So we start things off with new Trios champions, the Mac and Killshot carrying over from the past team, but Son of Havoc now replacing Dante Fox in the team. And we do start with these 3 in the ring for Aztec Warfare 4.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, man, on one hand, my heart is so heavy because Dante was becoming like one of my faves in the temple. Like, I gravitated to him so fiercely and so intensely. Like, I have so many performers in Lucha Underground. So knowing that he's not going to be here for the season, that was a major blow. Like, I'm not going to front about that. Like, his absence is definitely going to be felt by me whenever I see Havoc come out with these guys. That said, I do want to make 2 points on a more positive side. One, Havoc is a tremendous substitute. I feel like Havoc is still one of the top baby faces in the temple, still has great fanfare, incredible performer. I can't say enough good about the guy. And 2, I have to credit Lucha Underground because, like, I feel like too often when we're in a situation like this, it's like, oh, we're just going to strip Mac and Killshot of the titles and then have them do a chase with a new partner. I like that they're not going to have to chase. I like that they're not going to do this stuff, and that we could just really just quietly go about this reign, no fuss, no muss, and we could just treat it like, you're the champion, so just have, your title reign. I really do appreciate that. So I think that was at least 2 positives to really come out of the situation. But what about you? What are your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I also think that the Trios championships have had a lot of sort of flux about them, as far as, like, I definitely feel like there have been more kind of hot potato instances with them, because I don't really feel like there's ever really been a really long reigning trio, really not since the Unlikely Trio, I would say. So, it's nice that even though we're still getting a little bit of a shakeup, we're still keeping the same core of the team here.
Yeah, that's very true. That's an excellent point. And yeah, again, while my heart is heavy, I guess I can go back to calling him an AR Fox, and Dante Fox won't be anywhere to be seen, at least for now. I mean, the door's always open, right? I don't believe in burnt bridges. Maybe one day we'll see him again, but whatever promotion we see him in next, I mean, the dude's fucking fire. So I really do wish him the best. With that said, I guess, again, I didn't see most of this match until like Tommy Dreamer entered, and even that was a bit scatterbrained.
And you know what, though? You still saw a majority of the match because Tommy Dreamer was only the 7th entrant out of 20.
Yeah, and even then, though, like, it was a bit jittery at first, so I had to like keep farming around. So what did you think about Aztec Warfare? Like, we'll say like the first half of the match, and then I think I should be able to participate more, because remember, I was really able to participate when Mundo entered, and he was number 11. So
yeah, I had some problems after Pentagon's entrance as well. So and really the thing is, I guess I didn't nearly miss as much as I thought I did, because Pentagon was 6th and then Tommy Dreamer was 7th. So I mean, from what I saw, it was fine. It didn't really pick up until I would say until like Hernandez and Johnny Mundo came out 10th and 11th. But what I really wanted to do with you, because we already did live react to the match, and everyone, if you want to know what we think about the match, go back and watch our live reactions, listen to our live reactions along with it. That's a better gauge of how we felt about the match. I wanted to run down the entrants and get some opinions on the 20 entrants in this match.
Sure. That sounds great, actually.
So we already kind of gave our opinions on the first 3. Killshot, Mac, Son of Havoc. You guys already know what we think about them because we just had a discussion about that. Number 4 was Joey Ryan, and again, he continues the strategy of wanting to use the handcuffs, this time on the top rope. The only downside is I unfortunately did not see how he was eliminated.
I didn't see how he was eliminated either, and that's low key like one of my favorite seasonal gags because it's got to have a payoff somewhere, right? Like one season, he may even win an Aztec Warfare with that strategy because I think he's too hard headed to give it up. So yeah, that sounded pretty cool.
Yeah. We also, as far as the entrant order, we know Joey Ryan was 4. Mr. Spectacular was 5. I got to see him, but I didn't get to see how he was eliminated either. Although, thing is, apparently both Joey Ryan and Mr. Spectacular were eliminated by Pentagon. So Pentagon came out at 6 after Mr. Spectacular and just eliminated almost in succession, but not quite, Joey Ryan and then Mr. Spectacular. The first 4 eliminations were the Mac by Killshot, Joey Ryan by Pentagon, Killshot by Son of Havoc, and then Mr. Spectacular by Pentagon.
Wow, Pentagon was putting in the work tonight.
Dude, Pentagon had literally half of the eliminations in this match.
Jesus. Sounds pretty OP to me, man.
He had, well, okay, so not literally half. He had 9 of the 19 eliminations that happened in this match.
That's still a lot, though, dude.
Yeah,
like, that's no small number. I am happy for Jesse Goddard. Again, like, I'll really be looking forward to the rewatch where I could get, like, better context of, like, how these guys came off. Because just as much as the people that were in it, I did notice a few people that like weren't in it, but we'll get to that, a bit later after we rounded out the field, because there's one name that's sticking out in my mind that I'm curious. But who came after Goddard's?
Pentagon came out at 6, and then Tommy Dreamer was 7th.
Okay, I saw this. You know what? I gotta be honest. Here's the thing with Lucha Underground, right? We've talked about this before. Even if we're not crazy about an act, I'm always psyched for what good writing can do with a meh act. And I feel like Tommy Dreamer's in the right place given the Lucha aesthetic of like violence and in your face and like that hardcore element that isn't like gratuitous, but it does exist. But at the same time, it's Tommy Dreamer. So like really to me, when you get acts like this, it really does show, okay, is it more the performer or is it the writing? And I feel like Tommy Dreamer may be like that case where Lucha Underground can show like, yeah, it's both, but really it's always going to be good writing more often than not if you have to like, fall down somewhere. So I'm curious how they're going to utilize Tommy going forward because that is a bit of a head scratcher. But again, I think it is like a appropriate medium for him to be in given the nature of the promotion. We'll just see what he does narratively speaking. What did you think about it?
As far as just the whole situation, I think from a storyline perspective, it makes sense because like if Antonio Cueto is driven by the same ambitions that Dario was driven by and has sort of similar goals, and he's just as sort of enamored with violence as Dario was, it would make like, how can you have a show centered around violence and not hire the literal innovator of violence? That's his fucking nickname.
Yeah, that's a great point. That is a good point in regards to Dreamer.
Even though I'm not the biggest fan of Tommy Dreamer as a performer, just because he kind of works the old school style, and he was kind of really the big deal in ECW, which I never was a big fan of. From a storyline perspective, and we know Lucha Underground can make this kind of stuff work, it makes perfect sense. Yeah,
I definitely see where you're coming from there, man. Absolutely.
So, coming out 8th though, and also the 5th elimination, the 5th person to get eliminated was Mariposa. She was eliminated by Son of Havoc, but she came out and she kind of stood back and waited because Tommy Dreamer wanted to get his shit in. I don't even remember who Tommy Dreamer did the drop kick to. I think it was to Pentagon, actually. He did a drop kick on a garbage can into Pentagon's face while he was hung in a tree of woe. And he kind of like told Mariposa, like, hang back, I'm going to handle this. And then once Tommy Dreamer got done doing that, Mariposa grabbed a kendo stick and just went to town on both Tommy Dreamer and Pentagon.
Okay. See, man, I really hope Mariposa gets to break out this season.
No, dude, as far as her breaking out, I don't know because I actually have done a really good job of avoiding spoilers for this season. But the way she was treated tonight definitely does not seem like she's going to break out anytime soon.
I just don't know why. Like, she's so good. And, like, I don't know. I'll probably save the rant for another time. But it really is disheartening that the new season seems to be the same as the old season as it relates to the treatment of Mariposa, who I think could really be a standout character in this universe. So, what happened next?
Up next, we had our ninth entrant was Vinny Massaro, and when he was coming out, we had a pizza delivery man show up and give him a pizza pie, and he asked for money, and Vinny just shoved him, and then Vinny grabbed a piece, and he actually offered a slice of beautiful looking pepperoni pizza to Pentagon, but Pentagon showed him the Cero Miedo sign and then shoved the pizza into his mouth, into Vinny's mouth, and then hit him with the pump handle driver onto the rest of the pie.
Yeah, I was like, man, Pentagon, you could have taken at least one bite of that pizza. Like, what a dick. But it is great to see Vinny back in Lucha Underground. I think he's one of my favorite undercard acts.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you never know. Today's undercard act could be, you know, tomorrow's like, oh, I'm going to put you in this situation that's going to elevate your stock significantly. So I'm not giving up hope on Vinny, man. He might still do something this season. We shall wait and see.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We also, before Mariposa, before Vinny's elimination, Pentagon also did eliminate Tommy Dreamer. I don't even remember how he eliminated him, but there were so many weird eliminations tonight by random moves that didn't feel like they should eliminate someone. And we'll get to the perfect example of that in a little while. But for now, after Vinny, we got Hernandez at 10, and Hernandez coming out at 10 was a big surprise, but he also, kind of similar to Mariposa, he also kind of got bitched out. Like, he really got his face owned by Pentagon.
Now, do you think these like returning people that got their faces owned, you know, to use your words, do you think it was just like, it couldn't have been a one-time appearance, right? Like, you think we'll see Hernandez again or what?
I mean, the fact that he was on this episode at all tells me that he's probably going to show up again this season, but based on the way that he was used in this episode, I would have to imagine it would be in like a tertiary storyline.
Right, because like, to me, right, when you have a season premiere, like, obviously you're kind of setting the tone for the season. So if I see a guy like Hernandez, who I'm really psyched for, because when he was a part of your, because what was Hernandez, season 1?
Yes.
Season 1, right?
Yes.
So, like, and I thought that was the best work of his career that I've seen. And I did see, you know, Lucha Mex and original LAX and all that stuff. And I still thought the Lucha stuff was really fucking quality. And I see him on season 4, you know, in the first episode. I'm thinking, okay, well, since it's a tone-setting piece, you're going to have, like, you know, you're going to be a part of this season pretty consistently. At least I would hope. So, yeah, I hope this isn't the last we see Hernandez, because I think the dude's a freaking beast. And, you know, sooner or later, every arm that Pentagon breaks, these guys have got to give him a receipt for it, because, you know, you just can't get away with that kind of behavior forever, I would think. So we'll see. But, yeah, it was great seeing Hernandez, man. I definitely popped.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, I don't think Hernandez ever interacted with Pentagon in season 1, so you could write it off as just, like, he didn't know how to handle it. He got caught by surprise, and when he recovers from the arm injury, he might retarget Pentagon for treating him that way and kind of getting him off guard and eliminating him so quickly and breaking his arm for literally no reason other than just he's Pentagon and why the fuck do you care?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that would make sense. Hopefully if we do get a match between them, it's more like a 15-minute affair and not the 20 seconds that it took for Pentagon to eliminate him here tonight.
Yeah, so many quick eliminations, dude. That was the one thing that really caught me off guard about the Aztec Warfare was the pacing. Because I don't know about you, and again, maybe I'm in no authority to speak about this because you know the issues I had tonight, but I feel like this Aztec Warfare had a much quicker pacing than the prior 3. Did you get that vibe at all, or is that just me?
No, it definitely did. It definitely did, without a doubt. And it might be because of the fact that we had to give this big kind of intro where we got the funeral scene, and then we got the introduction to the new temple and the new proprietor, and then finding out that Dante isn't here and he's getting replaced by Son of Havoc and all that stuff. There was a lot of kind of pyro and ballyhoo before the actual match started. Whereas I feel like normally Aztec Warfare would start after the first commercial break. And I think this one started, I want to say after the second commercial break, maybe even. I don't know for sure.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, yeah, that is a great point. I'm not saying the pacing was a bad thing. It just caught me a bit off guard
I'm
tonight.
telling you, man, I've been pushing for it since maybe even since the end of season 1. 90-minute episodes, damn it.
Yeah, this really could have benefited from that because for as much as I love this episode, I think it would have had more of an impact if you let some of the moments breathe just a little more. So I definitely agree with you about that 90-minute timestamp. But regardless, what came after Hernandez's elimination?
Well, then we did get Johnny Mundo, and then after him, Ricky Mundo. And in the meantime, Son of Havoc was eliminated by Pentagon. So at this point, we've got Johnny in the ring with Pentagon, and then Ricky comes out, and that's when some weird shit goes down. I'll let you kind of extrapolate on
Yeah, Johnny Mundo being the dominant fucking specimen that he is, right? He's owning Pentagon's face as per usual, because if you listen to our live reactions, I mean, Johnny Mundo has a history of owning Pentagon's face. And Ricky Mundo, for the first time in his life, wasn't raising my blood pressure. He was being a good, compliant little bitch. And then all of a sudden, he gets distracted by this doll. Like, oh, but I'm helping him. Oh, what? And he's just staring at it. Johnny checks on Ricky because he's like, hey, we got more important things to worry about. Me, me becoming 2-time Lucha Underground champion. Yeah, that sort of thing. And he tells Ricky, like, get your head in the game. He's a little aggressive about it, because he's the leader. Sometimes you got to put your foot down. Sometimes you got to be forceful. And Ricky, not putting up with this crap, apparently, finally deciding, oh, I'm going to be assertive. I'm going to have a backbone. I'm going to have my own identity and not change my fucking state ID. He rolls Johnny up, trying to pin Johnny Mundo. Now, I know. I vomited the first few times, even just thinking about it myself. Thankfully, Mundo kicked out. He got in Ricky's face, wondering, bruh, what the fuck are you doing? I created you. And then Ricky wanted to give him shit, but you know what? Johnny Mundo took Ricky out on a moonlight drive and eliminated his ass, which is exactly what he's fucking deserved ever since he stuck his nose in Worldwide Underground. And again, I reiterate, that was my fucking spot. All right? I would have never betrayed Johnny like that. Do you see? Do you see how nobody can be trusted? It's disgraceful. It's disgraceful. So yeah, Ricky gets eliminated with a moonlight drive, and I gotta tell you, partner, it was fucking beautiful. It was great. Who came after Ricky, by the way?
After Ricky, we had Phoenix. And Phoenix, Johnny, and Pentagon were really kind of the core of this match for a little while. We didn't have any more eliminations for a little while after Ricky's elimination. We actually didn't get any more eliminations until our 15th entrant. Phoenix was 13th. And then, so Phoenix came out at 13, and he, Johnny, and Pentagon went at it for a little bit. And then Jeremiah was 14th. So we had, we had Johnny, Pentagon, Phoenix, and Jeremiah in the ring for a little while.
Can I just say, partner, as a quick aside, I don't really care much for Phoenix. I think narratively he's brilliantly written, like as a character in the universe. As an in-ring performer, I'm meh on him because I really do get Kushida vibes from him. But that said, dude did some crazy shit tonight.
That's my thing, dude. Like,
yeah,
Phoenix to me is like what Kushida could be if Kushida wrestled an entertaining style, which he doesn't.
Like, dude, it's almost like I hate you for being so OP, but I can't stay mad at you when you do this breathtaking, brutal shit.
Yeah, I've really kind of softened up on Phoenix over the last year, just seeing him work other promotions, and he's just a ridiculous athlete, man. He's insane. He's like a bigger Aerostar, because Aerostar, we know he's insanely athletic and he does crazy shit that most people shouldn't even attempt. Well, Phoenix is along those same lines, but he's probably like a good 3 inches and 30 pounds bigger than Aerostar. So it's even crazier when he does it.
I mean, dude, first of all, the two spots, and I apologize for kind of jumping the gun because I think the second spot came a bit later in the match, but I have to say this before I forget. The first spot with the dive he did off the ropes to Pentagon and Mundo, that was nuts. And then the variation of the double stomp he did, where it's almost like he jumped backwards into the double stomp, I'm like, bruh, blowing my fucking mind right now. So for as much as I can really like be infuriated with Phoenix like in ring sometimes, dude is athletic as hell, to your point. So I really just had to give him his due because I feel like I wouldn't be being fair otherwise. But yeah, I mean, share some more of your thoughts about the match, man.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, just like because you gave the rundown of like people that entered. Is there anything that stuck out in your mind? Because you said Jeremiah Crane, Phoenix, and then like who else? I feel like you said a third.
Yeah, it was Jeremiah, Phoenix, Pentagon, and Johnny.
Right. Jeremiah was all right in this. He actually got on a chair like a Falcon's Arrow looking move, I thought, but I mean, it didn't pin Phoenix. Actually, the way Phoenix got eliminated was kind of sad. I'll say that I think Phoenix did a bit better than that, but we'll get to that later. Anything else you want to say before we move on to the next entrance then?
Next entrant was Mil Muertes comes out 15th, and he gets ganged up on by everyone the same way that they ganged up on Matanza to eliminate him from Aztec Warfare 3, and he gets eliminated almost instantly. Very quickly into this, he gets eliminated, and in getting eliminated so quickly, and really, I also want to say, before he got eliminated, he did look very strong. He was throwing lariats, taking everyone out. Then he was throwing like little mini Reaper's tridents where he didn't even leave his feet. And he was just kind of charging into people with the spears. And he looked awesome. But then everyone ganged up on him and he got eliminated very quickly. And when he rolled out of the ring after being eliminated, who left him? Katrina left him.
Yeah, dude. And see, can we just like push pause on this? Because first of all, it was great seeing your boy back because I know like you fucking love Mills, so I was elated for you, dude. I thought that was awesome. We did talk about him having surgery. You said on both of his knees, correct? It was a double knee surgery.
He had double knee surgery back in like October or November, yeah.
See, and I wanted to reconfirm that for you because this just proves my point about why I love Lucha Underground so much. They take something that would make Mill, that would really force Mill in a position to work like very limited, very constricted because of the nature of his procedure, and they turn it into a narrative beat while still protecting him. Like, it's so fucking good, dude, because like you said, he looks strong. He was bulldozing everybody. It takes a concerted effort to eliminate him by everybody that he was just bulldozing prior. And then when he gets eliminated, which again protects his health because of what he endured with the double knee surgery, instead they're like, oh, we can milk this a little bit more because now we're going to have Katrina walk out on him. Like, I love that they can take something that any other promotion they would fret because it's like, oh, you know what, we can't really use you like that. We'll either keep you off TV or we'll do this or we'll do that. And they get multiple layers out of it, dude. It's so good. I mean, what do you think?
No, you're absolutely right. It's brilliant because I don't know if he was fully recovered by this point, and they just wanted to kind of get him in and out for the sake of not like aggravating the injury because maybe he was still kind of recovering from it or something. Or if he really was kind of not supposed to work and they really just kind of had him do the bare minimum. And really, if you think about the actual match, he didn't really do a ton. Like he didn't leave his feet more than once or twice, just bumping from other guys' moves. And, you know, maybe that'll also explain why he was doing the Reaper's Trident without leaving his feet too. It's like kind of a quicker, easier, safer way to do it. So yeah, man, that's entirely possible that they did this for the sake of protecting him for that very reason. Yeah.
And they still get his presence because, and here's the thing too, and this isn't to be negative to Lucha Underground, but you already know all the stuff that was like coming out. Oh, Angelico isn't going to be and we talked about it openly. We even mentioned it in our interview with Roach and DeJoseph, which, hey guys, if you're feeling it and you really want to get in the minds of the writers, we have that interview on our channel. Please check it out. I'm very proud of what we did. But you know, Angelico not going to be there. This guy not going to be there. You know, it would have been a heavy blow to give people the idea, what, like is Mill going to sit out or this and that? And they got something out of him. And even if he's very limited in ring this season, which I don't think he will be, I do think we'll see him back to form soon, even if it does take a bit later. At least he's a narrative fixture. And keeping that visibility of one of your most prominent characters, I think, is so important. And I'm glad Lucha Underground found a way to do it, dude. So excellent stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't really count on him being in any prominent matches this season, unfortunately, which really does suck because he is like a 4.5, 5-star match machine at this point. He just churns them out like nothing. He is like, he's Lucha Ichi, man. Like, you just give him a match and 5 minutes into it, you're super invested and you don't know what happened. It's amazing.
I completely agree, yeah.
But yeah, I don't think he's going to have any of those crazy like 15, 20-minute matches this season at all. He did have the double knee surgery. I ended up finding it on November 2nd. So, you know, Lucha Underground tapings, I want to say, happened in like March, I want to say. Like, no, you know what? It was late February, I believe. So he would have only been like 3.5 months removed from the knee surgery, and I really don't think that that's long enough for him to fully recover.
Oh no, certainly not. That sounds major. I think even if it was like a single knee surgery, that wouldn't have been enough time. But you're talking about both knees. That's intense.
Yeah, because the
But still,
tapings were like late February into early March, and that really, I mean, even if you just want to say like, oh, he didn't do anything on the first taping, or maybe he just did this on the first taping, we're still only talking about like 4 months to recover. It's still not enough.
yeah, very true. Very true. So what came after that?
Yeah. After Mill came in and got eliminated, we got Jeremiah Crane getting eliminated by Pentagon Dark, and then Daga comes out. Daga came out, and he came out in a really interesting way because Cobra Moon came out first, and I was kind of under the impression that it was going to be her, but then she kind of stepped aside. Daga is 16th entrant, and Daga looks great, man. King Daga. Remember, he did behead King Pindar and take his place as Cobra Moon's king beside him on the reptile tribe's throne. And man, he looked really good tonight. He looked really had some great moments, good spots. He worked well with Mundo. I wouldn't mind seeing them in a feud. Good stuff from Daga tonight. I actually it's kind of refreshing to see this kind of version of him because I feel like I didn't get the best first impression. So this is like good second first impression.
I feel like every season we get a few of the kinks of like the reptile tribe, like its members and anything like in their orbit smoothed out with each progressing season. And it's really nice because, you know, I know when Cobra Moon first came in, people were very critical of her. I never even really thought she was that bad in ring, but people were like, oh, you know, this and that. And then she becomes this huge like narrative piece. And I feel like she kills those cinematics every time she's on screen. Daga, like you said, you didn't get the best first impression. Reptile Tribe, they killed on their arrival, you know, admittedly, but I feel like the foot really wasn't on the gas as much as it could have been maybe in parts that season. But now, like, you've got this, and it just like every season it gets a bit better. Every season it comes more together. And yeah, Daga did look great. My praise for the Reptile Tribe is going to run out here in a few moments because I'll tell you one thing I got out of this episode, a blood feud, which I'm very excited to sink my teeth into going forward, but we will get to that. We will get to that.
Dude, yeah, because you know it's not just going to be Johnny Mundo versus the Reptile Tribe. He's going to drag his friends into it. It's going to be Worldwide Underground versus the Reptile Tribe.
As it should be. I witnessed an abortion of justice tonight. I'm fucking
Do you remember
pissed.
what we called Worldwide Underground when they first debuted?
What did we call them?
Aerial assholes.
Aerial assholes. That's right. Oh,
and these flippy aerial motherfuckers are going to take on the goddamn Reptile Tribe.
Dude, I can't fucking wait. I hope they rip the Reptile Tribe apart.
And dude, that also means we're probably going to get Taya versus Cobra Moon in a feud.
Which I think could be good. You know, I'm definitely keeping my mind open to that. And, you know, not to, well, actually, no. You know what? Do you want to further contextualize this? Or, like, who is the next entrant after Daga? Because I don't even know how long Daga lasted in this match because everything went so fast.
Daga did get eliminated by Johnny Mundo, but not immediately because after Daga came out, we got Chavo. Chavo is back, and obviously, you know, the whole reason he left in the first place is because he lost a loser leaves Lucha match to Ray. He doesn't really have to honor that anymore because the only guy making sure that he did was the combination of Ray, who's not around anymore, and Dario, who's dead. So Chavo being back makes perfect sense. And the next elimination was Phoenix by Chavo, and that was the dumb one.
Yeah. I want to give Chavo the benefit of the doubt and say that he meant for that to be a brain buster. Either way, though, and I can't believe I'm saying this because, again, I do have my criticisms, it's Phoenix. Like, you couldn't have done him the service of a frog splash. Like, it really just had to be something that really did look like a vertical suplex, to be fair, and eliminate him that way. Like, this is a guy, and again, like, I don't want to come down too hard because I did have fun tonight, and that is the main goal, and I do want to keep the energy up here. But this is a guy that if we really are going to scrutinize, got the piss beat out of him in the and the blood, really, and the first ever Grave Consequences. And he gets pinned for 3 seconds after a vertical suplex. Like, if you're a hardcore fan, and I think we could rightly classify ourselves as hardcore Lucha Underground fans, you and I, there's just a major disconnect. I mean, I don't know, dude. Do you think I'm being too hard on him, or how do you feel about it?
Oh no, absolutely. And really the thing is, Phoenix, if this is the first time you're ever tuning into Lucha Underground, you probably think like, oh, Phoenix is like this scrappy underdog that doesn't really get booked strongly, but he's impressive in the ring, and maybe he's like an undercarder because of the way that he was treated. Because like he kicked out of some stuff, but then he got eliminated by a fucking suplex, like if this is your first time watching Lucha Underground, you're probably not really sure what to make of Phoenix, and we should really be driving the point home. Like Phoenix is one of those, not one of, Phoenix is the most decorated motherfucker in the temple.
Yeah. I mean, dude was the very first Triple Crown champion. Like,
yeah, he was
no joke.
He was the first ever. Here's the thing. He was the first ever Gift of the Gods champion. He was the first ever 2-time Lucha Underground champion, I believe. Or no. Did he win it twice? No, he just had it the once. Okay. So yeah, he was the first ever Gift of the Gods champion, and like you said, first ever Triple Crown. So he's got some goddamn credibility behind him, and he got eliminated by a suplex. So
yeah. Damn. That's rough, man. Again, whether you're a fan of Phoenix or not, like just the way the character's been built up and presented, again, the word I come back to is disconnect. It's just a huge disconnect reconciling him being beaten by a suplex with everything we've seen prior. So hopefully he has some nice narrative rehabilitation and stuff going forward, because I do think he's going to play a significant part in this season. I don't know if he's going to be fighting a two-front war, with the whole Katrina thing and Jeremiah knowing about it, and of course Mill being in the mix, and if he's still continuing the thread with Drago being with the Reptile Tribe and Aerostar's the Lucha Super Friends, or if he's kind of tethered off from that, and maybe that's more Aerostar's concern. I don't know. But yeah, man, Phoenix, that wasn't a great way to really come back into the fold to me.
Yeah. All right. So after Phoenix's weird elimination, Daga does get eliminated by Mundo.
Yes, that end of the world. I'm so grateful I got to call that. I dropped 2 fail bombs tonight. One on Ricky Mundo and one on Daga, and they were both fucking deserved. And I know Cobra Moon listens to this. I trusted you. I believed in you. Oh, Daga got exactly what he deserved. We apologized for nothing. Nothing.
So then number 18 comes out, and who was it, John, but King Cuerno?
Dude, you know what? You were the original King Cuerno supporter between the two of us. How did you feel seeing Cuerno back with grown out hair, no less?
Yes, dude. I love Cuerno with a mane. It's so good. He looks awesome. He's still great in the ring. We got to see him really kind of, and I kind of like that about this kind of format of a battle royal, is when someone enters, they do get to kind of get their shit in for the first like 10, 15 seconds that they're in the ring before they get inevitably worn down and then cut off by someone. But Cuerno was awesome. We got some nice offense in. We got our first arrow from the depths of hell since season 2. Oh my God.
This majestic looking motherfucker with that mane blowing in the wind that he creates from his own arrow from hell. Like,
yes,
the ultimate competitor, dude. Unbelievable.
Yeah, definitely. He's been great. He's definitely a warmed return for this season. And then at number 19, we got El Dragon Azteca Jr., who is still just an exceptional high flyer, baby face, all around performer. He's amazing.
Dude, he's so good. And I'm going to be interested both on the writing end with Lucha Underground and the in-ring end, which of course is Azteca's responsibility. Ray isn't going to be a part of this season. So like, narratively, how is that going to inform Azteca's journey? You know what I mean? Because he was the protege. So it's like the original El Dragon Azteca killed. Ray off the grid. Now it's on the shoulders of the student, of the guy that's inherited this whole legacy, this whole struggle. How is he going to respond to all this? How is he going to handle all this? So I'll be very curious what stories he finds himself in this season.
Absolutely, man. Cuerno, and then El Dragon Azteca Jr. And after Azteca came out, we got an interesting development that I'm going to let you do all the extrapolation.
Oh, you're really gonna let me have this with a live
Oh,
mic?
absolutely. I wouldn't have it any other way. So after the Azteca Junior stuff, we get Cobra Moon summoning Vibora from the back, and Vibora comes out and choke slams and then tombstones Johnny Mundo, clearing Johnny Mundo up to be eliminated by entrant number 20, Marty the Moth Martinez.
You know, I have a saying that I've been using lately. I say that the universe is the greatest comic of all time because it can punch up and punch down with equal indifference. And it pulled a great joke tonight. It's like, hey, John, we're going to get your stuff working on your end just in time to see Mundo enter and be Mundo. And I'm like, really? That's wonderful. Thanks. Oh, but then, when he just has to outlast a few more competitors to immortalize himself, become the first ever two-time Lucha Underground World Champion, we're going to have a person that isn't even in the match come in and eliminate him because obviously none of those fucking plebs could have done it. So no, you just sick the fucking reptile freak on him. Choke slam, tombstone, and then Marty. Marty, my man, I'm not gonna cuss you out. This rant is not for you. I get it, man. I was even rooting for you towards the end, which we'll get to. But you could have taken the high road. You could have said, you know what, Vibora, no, I don't want to eliminate the greatest luchador of all time this way. But you did. You turned him over, you hooked the leg, and you did. And I know that you're going to sleep in your cocoon soundly tonight. But understand that I won't. I mean, this was a deep emotional betrayal, but rather than hate you for just being an opportunist, which I would have done because fuck everybody else, I just really can't get, what is it, Vibora? Are you jealous that your abs just don't compare? Are you jealous that you have to hide behind a mask because you're just so fucking hideous? That you look at Johnny Mundo and you just become consumed with this envy. And Cobra Moon, what kind of a leader are you? What kind of a hierarchy do you have when your king gets bitched out? So instead what you do is you send out a foot soldier, a commoner, in the midst of chaos.
No, I'm gonna have to cut you off there because Vibora is a general in their army.
Fine, General. I stand corrected in the hierarchy, but still, your king saw the end of his world. And you, rather than internalizing this and saying, well, you know, maybe our tribe really isn't all that. Maybe we're not that great. Instead, you're like, nah, Mundo's the problem. Vibora, sick him. Do you understand what you've started? I don't think you've really wrapped your head around what you've started. You see, I am quite possibly the most obnoxious fan in existence. And see, what you've done now is you have made me just the hemorrhoid in the asshole that's the reptile tribe. Because now every time you do something, every time you feel like you have a gain, I will be rallying against you to lose everything like you did once before when Drago left your ass. But oh, let's forcibly starve him because you're so weak, you can't have people gravitate to you on your own merits. You're pathetic, reptile tribe. You're pathetic, and I see right through you, and Worldwide Underground sees right through you, so I am going to enjoy. I am going to immensely enjoy when Vibora faces Mundo at 100% because he's going to learn what a difference in skill level they really have between each other. And you, well, we're saving the guillotine for you last. I promise you that. This war has only started. Oh no, I'm on my bullshit today. Mundo got screwed. Do you understand? Every Aztec warfare, save for the first one, I feel like he gets screwed somehow. Because the last one, fucking on Helico. The second one, I honestly also want to say I think that was on Helico.
On Helico again.
It was on Helico again. And now this one, it's fucking Vibora. Do you know why? Because you know that in Aztec warfare, nobody goes the distance like Mundo because he has the best conditioning out of any of these motherfuckers. And It always takes outside interference because people that are actually in the match making those expenditures, they can't endure what Mundo can endure. So you constantly have to fuck with him. Well, you know what, Reptile Tribe? I'm tired of ranting about how the Worldwide Underground is being fucked with. I want to see them stick it to somebody, and you drew the fucking short straw. So have fun with it. Have fun with the bed that you made. And you know what? When Dog is crying himself to sleep tonight because he can't reconcile his own insecurities with being the king of your worthless ass tribe, know that that was the choice that you made. Rather than excommunicate him and make a better choice, you stood by him, but at what cost? The end of your world. That's what I've got to fucking say about the events that happened. Fuck the Reptile Tribe. Public enemy number one right now to me. So there you go.
You know, when I asked you to extrapolate, I didn't know that I was giving you a platform to literally cut a promo.
You should have known better. I have a lot of feelings about what went down tonight. Mundo got screwed. That's what happened. That is exactly what happened. And you know it.
Oh, I do now, do I?
You do. You're an intelligent man. I mean, granted, your opinions on Nathan Cruz are fucking ass. But regardless, you're an intelligent guy, right? Like, you know that people had no business in the match. And then Marty, again, just pinning Mundo like, oh, yeah, that's cool. And Cobra Moon was so proud of herself. How dare you? How dare you? But what happened after this?
So you're okay now?
I go to therapy now. I will talk about it next week. I am fine. We can move on.
Okay, so after that happened, El Dragon Aztec Jr. got eliminated by King Cuerno, and then we got down to our final four. It was King Cuerno, Chavo, Marty, and Pentagon. And who won, John?
Pentagon Dark, brother. It came down to him and Marty, which I want to ask you something real quick, but I want your opinion because obviously I'm going to be biased because you know how much I love Marty the Moth. Do you think him being so close to the Lucha Underground Championship, like in the first freaking episode, do you think that puts him on a good trajectory or you can only go down from here? How do you view the situation?
It's so interesting because really they could go one of two ways with it. They could either be like, oh, well, you were so close. Maybe in a fair fight you could have won. Let's try again and give you another shot. Or they could be like, oh, you already had your shot. We're not going to give you another shot unless you really earn it. And he spends the whole season trying to earn it. Maybe, just maybe, he gets the title shot at Ultima Lucha 4.
Dude, I would love that because here's the thing. Do I think it's going to happen? Let me say right out of the gate, no. The only back door, though, that they've opened to go through and do that, which, again, I would fucking love them for doing, is Pentagon did break Marty's arm to end the episode. Yep. Now, well, actually, no, that wasn't to end the episode, but you get what I mean, like, really, like, post-match stuff. Now, granted, he also broke Hernandez's arm and stuff, so it's not like it was unique. It's not like Marty was the only arm that he broke, which if it was, then I definitely would be investing in this. But Marty's not the type to really let shit go. So I'm hoping he looks at that and he's like, I've got to get back at Pentagon Dark. And Marty really becomes the big bad of Pentagon's title reign this season. Dude, I would fucking love that. Marty is one of my favorites. I think he's a quality worker, one of the best heels in the game. I still have to tweet congratulations to him for his performance. I definitely want to do that. But I am hoping that like he's the big one. He gets the big push this season. But I mean, what about you, man? Do you have any theories about who could really be like the big challenger for Pentagon, the big feud? Because there's such a field to choose from, even with the absences this season.
Well, I think here's the thing. After Pentagon retained his title and broke Marty's arm, we got the big revelation that next week we are getting Pentagon versus Matanza for the title. We might see a title change next week, man.
We might. Yeah, that's very possible because as I noted to end our live reactions, Pentagon has never beaten Matanza. So he made history tonight being the first Lucha Underground champion to retain an Aztec warfare. And now he might make personal history for himself by finally beating Matanza for the first time. Yeah. So, like, they are really building Pentagon up as the guy, it feels like, which, I mean, he should be because he's the champion. But, yeah, like, they are going all in on Pentagon. I did want to say, too, while we were speaking of absences, because I know he was in the trailer, so I'm curious how he's going to debut. No Jack Swagger in Aztec Warfare. So I'm curious, like, when his number is going to get called and when we're going to see him for the first time. And again, I only say that because of like the writing. Jack Swagger by himself, meh. Jack Swagger with Lucha Underground writing, you know, definitely curious.
Yeah, you know what? Now that you bring him up, maybe he'll be Pentagon's big bad. He'd probably be my choice because I know that he's got like the stature, and we already know that Lucha Underground does great work with amateur style wrestlers. Given that Cobb was, you know, the Guatemala, or not Guatemala, Guam representative in the Olympics for wrestling. Maybe they do something with Jack Swagger and make him kind of like Pentagon's big bad. You never know.
Yeah, dude, that's a great point. So with that said, yeah, I mean, great Aztec warfare. Definitely a quicker pace, which led to some head-scratching eliminations. But yeah, Pentagon emerges on top, and then Antonio Cueto, you know, ends with the announcement of Matanza versus Pentagon. By the way, Ashton, did you, let me just ask you real quick, did you have your volume on at all for any of this? Because you know I never really do when we're live reacting.
Yeah. Well, I had my, like, when we got to speaking segments, I had my mouse on the volume, and I would unmute it to be able to hear what they're saying, and then I would remute it so that I could talk and not get like cutouts and stuff.
Right. So Stryker and Vampiro were still on commentary, right?
Yes. Like when we opened the show, when Antonio Cueto was talking about how, oh, you know, my son he's dead and I'm the new owner, blah blah blah. Then Stryker and Vampiro were introduced. Stryker introduced himself and Vampiro.
Because I only ask because I wonder what the dynamic was like behind the table, because, you know, with the end of last season, Stryker seemed very disgusted with Vampiro's betrayal of Puma and aligning with Pentagon. And I was also curious, like, because Pentagon was in the match so early and lasted to the very end, what Vampiro's commentary was like, since he's aligned with Pentagon. But we also know.
Oh, no, yeah. See, I had the volume pretty low for pretty much the match overall, like from beginning to end.
So I'm curious when you and I go back what the commentary was like. That's something I'm going to keep a keen ear out for as well, because we know that the alliance with Pentagon, that's also a smokescreen for a higher alliance that Vampiro has. So I wonder if he dropped any hints to that as well. So yeah, that'll be an element maybe we can talk about, you know, next week, kind of, you know, leading in, maybe kind of connect. So it's 1 and 2 possibly. But with that said, let's move on to our next segment, high spots and low shots. Well, actually, you know what? Before we get to high spots, low shots, should I do plugs for our stuff?
Yes.
All right, guys, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe the video. And yeah, the more likes you leave.
I mean, to be fair, there's no point in really telling people to comment right now. They
oh yeah, that's true. They are in the live chat right now. That's a great point. So yeah, just like and subscribe if you're enjoying what you're hearing, and if you are subscribing, welcome to your new favorite wrestling podcast. Patreon in the description box. Go. We have a Discord, $3 a month for membership. I think it's a great thing. Most hardcore TWitWoW fans really kind of commune there to really spend time, talk video games, Game of Thrones, wrestling, anything you could really think of. We even have a not suitable for work tab. So that's how accommodating we are. $3 a month. So check it out on the Patreon, see if you're interested. We have TWitWoW merch and all sorts of merch at our Teespring. Going to want to check that out, see what we offer there. Both Ashton and myself, our Twitters are in the description as well. Follow both of us. You're going to want to follow Ashton because his pinned tweet is the TWitWoW schedule for all the recordings we do throughout each month. Right now, he's got pretty much like all the June recordings listed. On my pinned tweet is to collect Q&A questions. You know, Q&A will be at the end of this month, which is going to be June 28th. And yeah, on my pinned tweet, you know, it's 4 questions per Q&A. You can divide them however you like. You can ask virtually anything you want, unless we say like, oh, we've already, you know, answered that, or we're uncomfortable, whatever the case is. So go nuts. TWitWoW Facebook is also in the description. And unique to Lucha Underground reviews, I also do want to point out, if you are new to our Lucha Underground content, because you might just be new to Lucha Underground in general, which lucky you, we have a playlist of all Lucha Underground content ever. So if you're like, man, I'd really like to pair season 2, episode 5 with some TWitWoW, well, good news for you. We live reacted to it and we reviewed it. So we can just hold your hand and we can walk you down the entire road of Lucha Underground if that's what you prefer. Playlist is in the description. I can't think of anything else to plug at the moment, partner. So I think now we can get into high spots.
Yeah, and you know what, too? The beautiful thing about that all Lucha Underground content ever playlist, which, by the way, now has 253 videos in it, which will be up to 254 after we're done with this. And that's what I wanted to point out. The beautiful thing about it is it automatically adds every video that we upload or are live with that has Lucha Underground in the title. It automatically adds that to the playlist magically without me trying.
Awesome.
I don't have to do anything. It just automatically, like, I haven't done anything in between recordings, and the Lucha Underground Season 4 Episode 1 live reaction is already in that playlist.
Okay. All right. So, guys, with all that said, now high spots and low shots. And my low shot, you know what? My low shot's going to be Ricky Mundo. Because you know what? You chose a doll over your leader, over the man that created you. And you paid for it by being taken out for a moonlight drive of which you did not wake up from. So you can go to the back and sulk and with your freaking doll and whatever the hell's going on with you. So Ricky Mundo is going to be my low shot. Ashton, who's going to be your low shot?
No, that makes a ton of sense. Ricky Mundo got beaten by his own kin in a way, and not only beaten, but also in a way kind of abandoned. And that's kind of what I want to bring around, because my low shot also was literally abandoned by the woman that saved him from an earthquake rubble, and that is Mil Muertes. He definitely had a dominant performance for a little while, but he was eliminated very quickly, and then Katrina left him.
Yeah, dude, that was rough to watch. Even rougher for Mil to experience, I'm sure. High spot, you know what? I don't want to go the obvious route with the high spot personally. So you know what? I will say, even in defeat, I want to give my high spot to Marty the Moth, because to go from ending last season to getting your head shaved and losing Melissa Santos, which was the object of like his fixation and obsession, to starting this season being a 3 count away from becoming Lucha Underground champion. I mean, yeah, he lost. Yeah, he got his arm broken, but he'll recover and he'll be back. To know that that's where they're kind of situating Marty right now is a huge vote of confidence. I'm going to go with Marty the Moth, man. I'm going to go all in on that. It's freaking beautiful.
And you know what else I think is interesting is we kind of made the observation with the help of one of our fans last year during season 3 that Marty, and I think this was Luna Corva. I don't think he's in chat right now, but he is one of the fans on YouTube. He shows up in chat. I'm pretty sure he's in the Discord, all that fun stuff. Marty only really obsesses over things that he can have that other people have. Like, he doesn't really care about things that he can buy. He doesn't really care about things that, you know, he can just get for free. He's only really interested in things that other people have that he wants to take from other people. Because we got to remember, the first big thing was Killshot's dog tags, right?
Yeah, great point. Yeah.
And then it was, I'm sure there was something in there that I'm forgetting, but then it ended up being Melissa, who was with Phoenix. And, you know, Marty was always kind of flirty with Melissa, but he didn't get obsessed with her to a dangerous degree until she ended up with Phoenix. So maybe just getting this little taste will make Marty start to obsess over taking that world title off of Pentagon.
Yeah, that's a great point. And see, that's the argument I was looking for. See, that's something I can really get behind. I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
oh my
I didn't
God,
even think
dude.
about that until you gave Marty that credit, like just getting so close. But what if getting close triggers something in Marty that, like, he never really had that ambition before, but now that Pentagon crossed him, broke his arm, and he got that taste of almost having the world title, but ended up failing in doing so, I think Marty might, his new object of affection might just be the Lucha Underground world title. He might not stop until he either gets humiliated and beaten and destroyed the way that he was with Melissa, or until he gets that world title.
Dude, I hope you're right, man. Marty's so good. Oh, because, dude, the way I see it, I'd love for him to either like get his rematch at Ultima Lucha Cuatro or beat Pentagon in the middle of the season and then go into Ultima Lucha Cuatro as the champion. So, like, yeah, let this be the season of the Moth, baby. I am here for it, dude. I am here for all of it.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
But yeah, you were just kind of making my pick sound even better. So who's your high spot?
Well, it's kind of a mixed bag for me because we did get some cool returns, but none of the returns really did very well. So I really feel like my best bet is just to go with the old Occam's razor. The simplest answer is usually the right answer. My high spot's Pentagon Dark. He was the first ever Lucha Underground champion to successfully retain his title in Aztec warfare. That might never happen again, and we just witnessed Pentagon Dark do it. So yeah, Pentagon, there might be a lot of people that love you more than I do, but you're still doing pretty damn well for yourself. So congratulations, you are my high spot.
Absolutely, dude. I mean, you really can't argue with that. You can't argue with success. So with that said, are there any concluding remarks that you have about the season premiere of Lucha Underground Season 4?
I think I'm about out, man. We ended up going for about an hour, which is about par for the course for our Lucha Underground reviews. We've always been anywhere in like the 50 to 75-minute range for these.
Absolutely. So, guys, with that said, this has been Lucha Underground. This has been TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary action. Guys, now I can say, be sure to like, subscribe, and when this video is done processing, leave a comment. Let us know what you thought of this review if you had a great time. The more likes you leave, the more likely we are to be the top search result for Lucha Underground reviews on YouTube. And when you're the best at what you do, the top is the only place that you belong. So leave that like. And yeah, guys, you can check back in with us at what, Ash? I'd say 11 for our NXT review tonight. That's how it's going to go.
I actually do have the live hangout set for us to go live at 11:30, just so that we can get a little bit of a break in between recordings and not just have to go straight through. So I would say, yeah, we'll do it 11:30. We'll probably be live until like 12:15ish, if I had to guess, with the NXT review.
All right, guys. Well, you heard it there first. We'll see you at 11:30 for NXT. Until then, I already gave the rundown earlier before the high spots, low shots, so I'm not going to go through that again. Just tune in and peace out.